Okay, this is a desktop application built for FisherNorth. It's a precision feedlot and auction optimizer for determining the viability of buying cattle or livestock at auction. It can be pigs, it can be sheep, it can be cattle. So the objective of the game is to find something that's affordable to buy that will give you a predetermined forecasted profit. I'll leave this at 1,000 because that's the safest way to do this right now. Obviously, we want to make 10,000, but 1,000 to start with is where we're going to start. We've got factors up here that are locked in. We've got amounts of saltbush on the ground, which is I've got over 100,000, but we'll put in 100,000 because it's easy. The feed conversion ratio is how many kilos of feed that the animal eats to put on 1 kilogram of meat. Obviously, scrub is not as productive as, say, hay, which is down here, and that's a conversion ratio of 6, so that's a higher production value, and it's got a dollar per kilo rate that it costs to buy and how much I would have in stock in inventory. So these are all to calculate what I have and not predict what I need, because there's a budget as logistics with trucks and price and demand, supply availability and all that sort of thing. So there's a number of other sources of feed that you can put in there as well, so up to 4. I've only got the 2 because that's all I'll do for now. Water is another inventory-based constraint that's placed into the system, whereby I've got a provider that delivers a truckload of 64,000 litres at $32 a kilolitre. That's a lot of money. Likewise, myself going to standpipes to get 20,000 litres. That's cheaper, but there's a large portion of that is fuel. The prices today. The trucks normally would be $800 a truck run, but now because of fuel they're $1,200. The truck runs are put up here for anything like the freight to bring in animals, to bring in hay. If I have to take it, get a truck to take livestock to a market, then I've got to put in one there for a truck out, and that calculates that based on that. This is going to be sold at auction, this lot, so they would be picked up by the buyer at their costs, so the run out is 0. The mortality rate maximum is 5%. I can change that in the program, but that's all right. We'll leave that at 5% for now. Buying commission 5% to buy, selling commission 6% to sell when they're sold at auction. And those are the major constraints put into the system, which then up here I can put in values and create multiple lots to compare into here, and I can determine by analyzing here with that lot number the maximum bid number, the maximum bid that I would be able to afford to buy those animals at to achieve all of those targets that I put down here with those constraints. The feed rate, interestingly, up here, these feed rates here, I've got 4, but I'm only using the 2, of course, because I put in saltbush and hay. So the first one, I'm putting in 80% of that to be pasture, scrub, saltbush, and 20% to be hay. So they're the ratios of which I'm going to feed those animals at, given the feed rates, the feed, these, where are we? Here. These feed conversion rates, that will determine how much hay is going to be used and how much saltbush will be eaten. I'm way under my cap, I've got 10,000. I've got 100,000. I'm only going to use 21,000 kilos of salt bush. So I've got plenty of land. It's very low. It's a high feed rate conversion, and to feed them quicker or to move them more often, or to put hay out, which is more roughage and high protein, which is probably what they're going to need a bit of. So there's hay, which is up to there 5,000. I've got 6,000, so I'm under. If I take that and I say that's going to be, well, say I only had 5,000 in stock, then when I go to do my analysis, that's going to say, hey, you're missing, you're under, you can't do it. You either got to buy more in and put that back up to 6,000. I've got to get another 3 rolls to give me 6,000, and that'll bring me back up to where I need to be. Likewise with water, if I'm underwater and I've got, say, I only get the water for the truck that comes in with the 2 loads to give me the 64,000, and I don't have any water, my trailer's broken and I can't buy water myself, then I'm going to be underwater, literally out of water, not underwater. So I can't buy this lot because I don't have enough water to feed them. But if I'm only fed them had them on the property and grew them for 160 days, then of course I probably would have, because I only need 56,000 and I've got 64,000, so I've got plenty of water. But then I'm only going to get the average weight here is average weight here is 163 kilos for that lot. And this is an example I'm analysing. So lot 334, 163 kilos. There's 25 head. That's 25 wean mixed sexes. So that's that one there at that weight. Predicted days I want to have them on the feeding for. The 7% of water is based on body weight. That body weight starts at 163 and goes up to 249. So this figure here at 7% of the body weight is dynamically calculated. So for every day that weight increases, that water is calculated and give me a total here based on the increase every day that animal needs. The same with the feed. Here and here, those rations, they will determine those feed quantities that are needed cumulatively based on the dynamically changing weights every day by day by day by day. This recalculates, and every time I put that number in and make it another 20 days, then it's going to calculate for those extra 20 days. I need to put some more water in there. I need to go get some water. So I'll buy another 20,000 litres here. The other thing is that with this, it means that with that figure over here, I don't have to buy, and cash flow wise, if I'm really tight for money, I don't have to buy 20,000 litres because I know that I'm only going to need 2,000, because that's what it's calculated for me here. Obviously you want to have a buffer, so you don't want to be silly, but that gives you indicatively a better way to calculate what you actually need. Same with your feed, so you don't have to buy extra surplus feed and have it go bad while it's sitting for 12 months not being used. So you're only buying in what you need, you're not wasting money. So the comparison results here that we have are calculated then with those factors and constraints put into place. The sale price expected at the end of the 180 days taken to market or sold for auction at $4.20 per kilo is about what some of this stuff is selling for, $4.48, $5 a kilo, $4.26, $4.51. This is the lean season. The prices are high because of the costs and trucking and fuel costs, etc., and the feed costs. So they're all going up and up and up. These would normally be about $3.20 to $3 a kilo-ish. And later on in the year, when demand for meat is highest for processors during November, December, these prices would normally be another 20% on top. So these prices are probably fairly close to what they would be normally they'd be higher, but because fuel prices might expect to be coming down and feed prices could adjust and rebalance, then this price is probably fair to assume that we'd just be safe and call it $4.20. If it went to $5.20, then that would obviously give us more buying power at $5 to buy at now. But let's not be silly, and we'll just try to be safe and go, right, that's that, and that's our maximum bid price. So if I bid over that, I'm going to start cutting into my $1,000 park target profit here. So what have I got here? I've got $3.62 to spend per kilo. Is this lot going to work for me? Where is it gone? To there. $6.25 a head. $3.82. Whoa, 20 cents a kilo off. So I calculate that at 0.2 times by, yeah, 262, $52 times by 24. I'm going to lose $1,200, so I just lost my money. So this very critical, very, very good system, very good software here that I have created, because it does give me that critical factor where the margin is so tight that if I make a mistake here and I get anything wrong here, I don't feed them the right amount or overfeed them, I'm going to get screwed. My ass is going to be bleeding. So let's change something and make it 240 days, and that'll give me a better price to buy at, but I need more hay and water. So I'm going to have to add another, I'm going to have to buy and go get from the standpipe 50,000 litres there to cover my ass, because I've got 95 and that's 64 and 50. Actually, I only need 40,000. So it'll save me a couple of trips. So 95. 30,000 actually, 32,000. And that gives me, I'm still okay. The hay, now I need to go get another hay roll, so I need to buy some more kilos of hay. So I need to add 60, so let's say 2,000, so 8,000 there for that. And now I'm good. I'm in the black with all my numbers. That gives me $4.13. I've got to have them on the property for $2.40. I only really want to go 200 days, but I'll adjust that back down, and that could help me with my price. I'll keep my weight to there as well. Okay, so that's that. Right, I can select that and go, right, now I'm going to select that and get a report. This will report in trucks in and out, average weight bought for that lot at $3.92. This is my bidding sheet. So I've got a number ahead, the total weight, so I know the truck I have to get. It's not a big truck. A truck would normally be 20, so I'm only using, quarter of a truck to pay, and paying $1,200 for it. Ideally, I should be buying 4 times the amount of cattle with a lot that's 100 head to make maximum use of the truck to get the best value, and that will become a determining factor in and out. but also then I've got all my capital costs, CapExes here. That gives me my $1,000. It's not a lot of money, so it's very tight. This is a season that's going to be extremely stressful for a lot of operators. So here we've got all the trucks in and out costs for that and for buying the feed, because that's got to buy and truck in feed as well. So there's a total amount for the production costs there, line total for all the freight costs and trucks in and out and the feed. The water requirements, I've got $2,000 for the truck to bring in water, $400 for me to go get my water, and that's my total for water. Total maximum auction price for buying the cattle is 16 grand. What happened there? I don't know. And then line total purchase cost for the commission that's on top of that, so 16 on just under 17 grand. And then I've got predicted sale date as well, so I know that's when the truck I have to get organised is going to be booked for the 11th of November, and I have to have my paddocks rotated around and my gates and crushers set up so that when that date arrives, I have all my shit together and the truck is booked and coming. Expected selling price is $4.20. If I get under that, I'm dead in the water. If I get more, I get more than my grand. Expected average weight, so this gives me the total weight of the truck for the truck driver to know that's my total weight that those animals would likely be at by that date based on the feed that's been calculated for them. Mortality, I've got one I'm going to lose out of 25, so I'm only going to have 24, and that 24 is actually that weight. It's not the 25, it's the 24 that actually will be trucked. And then the selling commission, which is a minus figure because that takes taken off as a price, and that gives me the total return of 27 that I spent all my money on 16.8. So I spent my $26,667, and I got back $27,667 to give me my net of $1,000. Fucking pretty tight. So I can do another one. I can do 5. I can compare here if I was to buy, say 50 and do the same thing. 7%, 2 runs, 0 runs out, 80% scrub and pasture, 20% of hay, 0, 0 and $4.20 as well. And then do the scenario for this one. Obviously I need more hay now, so I've got to add 6,000 to that. That's 14,000, and water I've got to add 75,000. So what if I get another truck? 2 trucks would be 128,000. Still going to be short, and then I'll need to go get some more myself, so that'll be 45,000 to be safe. That'll give me enough water for that one. Same weights expected to be sold. That's going to give me a better bid price, so I'm going to be able to buy more, but of course I'm taking more risk by capital outlay, but maybe I can get $1,600 out of it to make 2,200 because I've only got the same trucks. 420, I can do 3,200 for. So this price is going down here. I can't. You can't buy. You won't be able to buy that lot at all with this profit that you need. But I'm getting closer to a target that's sensible because these prices here, they actually got sold for $3.82. So if I went to 3,600 profit and might actually get $4 grand out of this herd. Whoa. Might actually be making over $4,000. Let's say 4,200, and I could have actually bid for this lot and maybe got this bid if there were two of them at the same lot, two lots the same, obviously, at that price, then this would give me that one, and this is the report for that one at lot 335. That's the maximum bid price now for that. That's my truck, half a truck now, or a smaller operator, small truck operator, not a semi, and that would fill this truck up. But then when I sold them, I would need a semi because I'm going to need 14-ton truck. That's almost a full trailer. So that's $4.20 on the 11th, the same date they're going to be sold. I make then 4,200. Now, if I did this twice a year, because I've only got 100, no, I've actually got 200 days. Where's my days? Days. Oh my God, where's it gone? Number ahead 50, average weight, buying in. Selling dates 222 days. Because water's the critical thing that days are calculated for. 220 days, that's the season, that's my season over. The alternative would be is if you were able to make that amount in, say, 110 days, 120 days, then you could do that twice and you'd make 8,000 and change. Anyway, that's the whole box and dice of this system. I think it's pretty smart.